What's up, everyone? Cinephile Mike is here, and we are magically floating along with Season 4 of Awards Season Reviews. 98 reviews in 98 days, counting down to the 98th Academy Awards. I don't know about you, but I'm obsessulated. Quick review before we dive in. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single day of Awards Season Reviews, because they are going to be flying faster than Elphaba. Continuing with our theme this week, the top box office contenders. These are the films competing for the Golden Globe Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award. We've had a lot of action this week, and we're going to keep it going all the way over the rainbow. Too much? All right, I'm sorry. There's going to probably be a few more. Today, I am discussing the sequel to the film that took this top prize last year at the Globes, Universal Pictures' Wicked for Good. Written by Winnie Holzman and Dana Fox, based on the stage play by Holzman and Stephen Schwartz, and the novel by Gregory Maguire, the film was directed by Jon M. Wicked for Good, when it came out, helped rescue what was a bleak 2025 box office. Did not look like we were going to end well until the double punch of Wicked, the film I'm going to talk about tomorrow, helped to correct. So what happens in this film? Well, we pick up about a year after Elphaba, played by Cynthia Erivo, defied not only gravity, but the so-called wizard, played by Jeff Goldblum, and took her cause to the western skies. Still fighting against the mistreatment of animals in Oz, she hoped that he would be her salvation, and, well, he wasn't. Taking the Grimoire, the spell book, Elphaba tries to undo some of the spells and work she had done in the first film, and also goes after those who are using animals as labor when they are building the Yellow Brick Road. She also attempts to reconcile with her sister Nessa Rose, played by Marissa Bodie, but that goes less well than she had hoped. Meanwhile, Glinda, played by Ariana Grande, has become the public face of the wizard's cause. She's trying to maintain peace and calm the people terrified of the newly dubbed Wicked Witch of the West, a name conjured up by Elphaba's former mentor-turned-enemy, Madame Morrible, played by Michelle Yeoh. Glinda is also preparing to marry Fiyero, again played by Jonathan Bailey, now captain of the Gale Force. Their union is meant to usher in peace and happiness amongst the people and citizens of the Emerald City and Oz. Of course, Elphaba and Glinda inevitably clash as they try to determine the right path forward. And when an outsider from a land called Kansas arrives, thanks to the schemes of one particular aforementioned character, the classic events of the book begin falling into place. Through a series of twists, familiar characters become the companions of our Kansas visitor. As tensions peak, we see whether knowing each other truly changed things for good for both Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, and Glinda, the Good Witch. I went into this movie with one small problem. As longtime viewers know, I was not overly in love with the first film last year, nor was I in love with the Broadway show. I did, however, fancy the original novel. The book's social commentary on exclusion, systemic oppression, gender subjugation, and so many other things I could go on and on about, they're just not fully present here. Now, to the film's credit, this script addresses some of those themes better than the first one did, but while there were so many plot threads to tie up, the film really struggles. Ironically, where part one felt overlong and overstuffed, this one actually could have used more time, maybe a little more content. Characters and arcs, no spoilers, they feel shortchanged. Again, my issues with the script. But visually, whew, like the first film, it's a marvel. Paul Tazwell's costumes seem somehow brighter and richer despite the darker tone. Production designer Nathan Crowley expands the world beautifully. The house coming from Kansas and the sequences in the forest are truly awe-inspiring, and all of these things, the costumes and the sets, really allow Alice Brooks' cinematography to continue to shine. If you can, see this movie on the biggest screen possible. Not for the script, but for the visuals. Why do I feel like I am talking about an Avatar film? Talking about the performances, Cynthia Erivo is, once again, the strongest part of both films. Her Elphaba is powerful and deeply sympathetic, but You know what? Here's what I want to take a moment. I want to apologize, not that I believe she's watching, but to Ariana Grande. Now, I've always enjoyed Ariana Grande as an actress. I mean, her comedic timing in SNL is untouched. Her hosting monologues, some of the other acting she's done, she's great. Now, in the first film, I remember really kind of ripping in and saying that it was almost like a Kristen Chenoweth knockoff, and it was a little grating and annoying. But here, it's a complete opposite. She really grounds a more mature Glinda beautifully. And, Jon M. He's been able to bring strong performances out of both of his leading ladies. Michelle Yeoh, despite the criticism about her singing, I mean, she's not the greatest singer, but her acting choices are inspired. One glare from her could cut you to threads. But aside from these three, I feel that the supporting cast doesn't get quite enough to do. Some musical numbers are stellar, especially No Good Deed Goes Unpunished, but the new songs clearly written with awards categories in mind, they felt a little unimpressive. They distract from the core story and in some cases really do a disservice to the characters. Honestly, we might have been better off with one tight, effective 3 to 3.5 hour epic films instead of 2 films approaching about 5 hours long in total. It's the Mission Impossible problem I talked about earlier this week. Oh well. C'est la vie. But let's, for a second before we go, talk box office numbers and awards. Now, in less than a month since this film premiered, as of this recording and posting, the film currently has, and this number may change by the time you watch this, $320,272,885 domestically, and an additional $143,348,000 internationally, giving the film a worldwide take of $445,620,885 and continuing to climb. Critically, though, this one is divided with 321 critical reviews, giving the film a 68%, while the fans are in love with it. Over 10,000 audience reviews give the film a score of 93% on the popcorn meter. So, there's some work to be done here for the critics. Award season-wise, still early, but in addition to the box office and cinematic achievement nod, the film has nods for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy for Erivo, Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture for Grande. Stephen Schwartz also has 2 noms for the 2 original songs, The Girl in the Bubble and No Place Like Home. Again, I want it on the record, I was unimpressed with these 2. It was named one of the top 10 films of the year by the National Board of Review and Movie of the Year by the AFI Awards. And the film currently has 7 Critics' Choice Award nominations: Best Picture, Supporting Actress for Grande, Best Casting or Ensemble, Best Song for Girl in the Bubble, Best Production Design, and Best Hair and Makeup. I am sure there are more to come. As for its Oscar chances, I definitely think it is a contender for the behind-the-scenes categories. And I will say it, Grande, yeah, she might be deserving of an Oscar nod this year for her performance. Really good. So where do I land? Well, like the first half, Wicked for Good, it's a decently made 3-star film. If you would like to watch or rewatch this flick, as many of you may have already, as of this recording and posting, the film is currently still in theaters with no streaming date or information mentioned. Sorry about that. Thank you all for joining me for episode 4 of Award Season Reviews. We'll be doing this every day for the next 94 days, so stay tuned. Be sure to like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Can you tell I'm tired? Share it with your friends. Drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms, Letterboxd, and of course, find lots of great additional content on my website, cinephilemike.com. All right, I will see everyone tomorrow with the next review. But until then, this is me, Cinephile Mike, saying take a break and watch something new.